Good evening and welcome to our almost winter concert. It sure feels like winter out there, doesn't it? I was saying to my husband, I think that this is the first year that I can remember in a while that the snow came and didn't leave at this time of year. It feels like it should not stick. Well, it's sticking all right. My name is Allison Yeager, and this is Concert Band joining us on stage. This is our 9th grade group. Did everybody get a program? Is it okay for me to take the QR code down? All right, sounds like we're good. So we're gonna kick it off with our first tune called A Night in Budapest.
Hi, my name is Sloan McFarlane and I play the trombone. While on a vacation in Hungary, composer David Buberwitz was able to spend 2 nights in Budapest, soaking up the energy of this historic city. A Night in Budapest came out of the experience, based on a folk-like melody with a strong Eastern European feel. The musical journey that Buberwitz created almost feels like a travelogue, starting with an evocative slow tempo intro, evolving into a dance tempo section with some quirky diversions and climaxing with an accelerando that leaves listeners breathless.
Hugh Stewart was born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He received his training from Oberlin Conservatory of Music, Columbia Teachers College, Rutgers University, New York State College, and the University of Michigan. He taught instrumental music in the schools of Maryland and New Jersey for 33 years. Mr. Stewart has written more than 150 published compositions, arrangements, method books, band and orchestral collections, solos, and ensembles in the educational field, and appeared as a clinician in 45 states.
A hymn for band evokes the feelings that we believe the composer had while writing this piece for his own students in mind over the course of his long teaching career, cherishing every note and every moment.
Before Concert Band's last piece, I just want to give a shout out to the students on stage. Making the choice to continue studying music as part of your high school career and enriching your life For some students it's an easy decision, and others it's a bigger decision for them and their families. And really, when you think about what they've accomplished over the course of this year so far, are a lot of firsts, right? They came in, they had their first startup camp before school even started, got to know everybody in the 9th through 12th grade groups. They learned how to play an entire catalog full of pep band music in a really short period of time, played their first football game in the stands here at OHS, got out there and put on a field show. Can we give it up for the homecoming field show? All these great students. They didn't even complain when I made them do choreography. And I mean, I had them doing the whole the single ladies and everything. Nobody complained. They probably complained in the hallway later, but they didn't complain in front of me, and that was awesome. And here they are, now it's December, and they're putting on their very first high school band concert for you tonight. So can we just give it up for the folks on stage one more time, please? Our last piece is by Daryl Johnson II. We've had him, he's worked with our students here before at OHS. We had a really great time. He's a composer who's based in LA mostly, and does a lot of cinematic type feels within his music, also has a lot of blues and jazz influence. And Never Too Late, Maggie and Eli are going to tell you about it on the screen right now, but one of the things in the liner notes says, if you found yourself with a plethora of trombones, this is the piece for you. And we have been so blessed, Mr. Kading and I, to have 8 trombones in concert bands. So I was like, you know what, Daryl, we're going to do this piece. So here we go.
Never Too Late was commissioned by a public school band teacher in California whose father, Bill, had always wanted to learn to play the trombone, but did not have the opportunity to do it as a young person. Bill finally decided to learn to play trombone as a beginner when he was in his 40s and continued to play it well into his 80s in concert bands and jazz ensembles until he died.
The composer states, Bill's story is remarkable because the vast majority of people who ever learn to play an instrument learn to do so before high school. Yet, 85% of adults surveyed who don't play an instrument say they wish they had learned to play one. Such regrets are common whether it pertains to learning to swim, dance, travel, speak publicly, paint, or even just learn to be comfortable with oneself and their own skin. But it does not have to be so. Colonel Sanders was 62 when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. Morgan Freeman was 50 before he became a movie star, and Grandma Moses was 78 before she began producing her $1 million art catalog.
It may seem that time has passed us by, and faster with age, but regardless of what comes of our efforts or where the path leads, it's never too late to do something great.
Hello, my name is Jack Jack Younkie. The classic animated movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas, features deliciously sinister music by composer Danny Elfman. Elfman is renowned for his film scoring, and his positive working relationship with director Tim Burton has yielded nearly 20 projects in film and television. Among Elfman's many honors for his works are 4 Oscar nominations, 3 Emmy Awards, 1 Grammy Award, and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Society of Composers and Lyricists in 2022. This medley arranged for concert band by Michael Brown includes the Overture, Christmas Eve Montage, Sally's Song, and This Is Halloween, and What's This?
There are a lot of soloists on that tune. They are mostly listed in the program. Technology had a little folly with that though. The programs that are printed don't have all of the soloist names in the program. I apologize, but the QR code one does have all of them. And when I send out the thank you email tomorrow, I'll make sure to include the QR code, that link for the program, so that you can have that as a keepsake. And all of the soloist names are correct for the entire rest of the program from there. So thanks for your patience in that regard.
The tune of Greensleeves may be the oldest documented piece of secular music. It has been traced to the early 1300s, although the first published version is dated in 1580. It was sung and sold in the streets as a broadside ballad, where singers would sing popular tunes loudly in the street so people would buy them. But to make more money, they would sing the same tune but change the lyrics.
Greensleeves was used in Shakespeare's time, and the tune was already what could be considered a standard, so used it in many of his plays. Alfred Reed's arrangement for band is considered to be the standard in contemporary band library, requiring a high level of musicianship to bring out the full beauty and emotion of this simple folk melody about unrequited love.
This high energy piece sets the stage with a melodically lyrical alto saxophone solo, and then dramatically changes and presents fast Latin percussion parts that are both numerous and active, exciting syncopated rhythms, and even a short jazz section that features a walking bass line before the dramatic conclusion. Please enjoy our last piece. This one definitely makes us want to dance.
As you might have noticed in the program, there are a lot of soloists for this band. So I will ask each one of them to stand, ask them to pop up quickly at the end of the pieces that they solo on. But please do continue to applaud to show all of those folks some love, because one tune has 9 soloists, so it's okay, 1, 2, 3, right? So if you can keep clapping, that would be really much appreciated for all the hard work that these folks have put in. Welcome to the wind ensemble portion of our concert.
In some agricultural districts in England, teams of Morrismen decked out with jingling bells and clicking sticks can be seen dancing to traditional tunes such as Shepherd's Hay, which are usually played on a fiddle or a combination of fife and drum.
This is one of the many wonderful renditions of English folk songs transcribed by Australian composer Percy Grainger. Originally penned for an ensemble of 12 instruments in 1911, the band version was transcribed by the composer in 1948.
Our next piece is October by Eric Whitaker, and the composer wrote this piece about the month of October being his favorite month of the year because of the way that everything changes with the light. And as a class, wind ensemble, we talked about the difference between an 85-degree day in August and an 85-degree day in October, which frequently we have that dichotomy in Wisconsin. But how the light changes depending on what time of day it is, the way that the air feels different, and all of the ways that we experience the month of October emotionally and through the lens of our eyes and our music. So with that project, the drop screen that was down at the beginning of the concert had different examples. All of the students who turned in a project were featured in that. Some of them had their quotes featured, some of them had poetry that they had written, others took photographs of things that made them feel the music and the connection to the music in the month of October and the composer's words, and some other folks actually created pieces of art. We had 2 paintings, a collage. One of the students even did a project where they painted on canvas with their grandmother, and I thought that was really special to have that moment together with those 2 people. So these are 3 student examples of photos that really struck me, and they're completely different for numerous reasons, but I didn't give the students a huge amount of guidance in how they felt they wanted to depict their artistic representation. So some students altered photos in Photoshop, like a program like photo editing software. Others, took the photo from their phone camera when the moment struck them. Others chose a photo from the month of October that wasn't even potentially from this year, but then created something out of that too. So it gave us an opportunity to think a little deeper about the meaning behind the music and then put that into our own representation. And we hope that you feel that through the music here tonight. Enjoy.
The composer writes, "During trips to dance halls in Veracruz and Mexico City, I started to learn the danzon's rhythms, its form, its melodic outline, and listened to many old recordings. I was fascinated, and I started to understand that the apparent lightness of the danzon is only like a visiting card for a type of music full of sensuality and qualitative seriousness, a genre which old Mexican people continue to dance with a touch of nostalgia today. We can fortunately still see this in the embrace between music and dance that occurs in the state of Veracruz and in the dance parlors of Mexico City."
He continues, writing, "The Danzone No. 2 endeavors to get as close as possible to the original dance form, to its nostalgic melodies and its wild rhythms. This composition is a very personal way of paying my respects and expressing my emotions towards truly popular music. Danzone No. 2 is also dedicated to my daughter, Lily."
Y'all, that piece is 10 minutes long. I'm exhausted, in the best way. That was a really challenging piece of music for us, but when the students and I get the bug on something, when you listen to a really great piece of music, and it just takes hold of you and it won't let go, it makes them want it, right? And that's exactly what happened with the Dan Zone. Is I bought that piece like 3 years ago, and I'm like, this is gonna be the year. This is gonna be the year we're gonna do it. And this year was the year. There were enough students that were like, yeah, let's do it, let's run. So that was the product of a lot of hard work on your students' part. So, hey friends, can you give it up for your families that put up with all of your practicing too? Yeah. I shouldn't say that. You don't put up with their practicing, you love it. Of course you do, right?
Although most audience members remember Julius Fuchik for his entry to the Gladiators March, a recent international popularity poll indicates a preference for his Florentiner March, composed in 1907. The length of his content of his march, the listener suspects that Fuchik must have attempted to condense the most important material for an operetta into a march. The composer crafted multiple stage characteristics perfectly as he scores this march. You'll be able to identify each of them throughout this piece.
The Florentiner opens with a stern bugle call, after which the march becomes lighthearted. The main melody of sprightly repeated notes in the upper voices is occasionally interrupted by the sarcastic responses in the low brass. An expansive lyrical middle section is followed by a repeat of the initial material, this time with an added piccolo obbligato in a close style reminiscent of John Philip Sousa's The Stars and Stripes Forever.
finishing getting seated here with our super band on stage, I'd like to go ahead and get the thank yous done now. Want to say, so if we can do that as quietly, students, as possible. I know you might have to actually talk to each other. It's kind of nice without like being on the screen, isn't it? But if you do need to say anything to like shift around, that's fine. Just we'll turn the volume down a little bit. Want to say thank you to OBA. The clothing sale items just got delivered. The butter braids got delivered, and there was a lot of work that went into that. So we want to say thank you to them. Want to also thank our admin team, Principal Maggie Zwicky, and our associate principals Chrissy Mittling, Duran Hunter, and Brad Ashmore for all of their support of our students in the arts. Bill Calloway and Jason Jacobs, our orchestra teachers, and Jen Yancey, our choir teacher, who is just always like, how can I help? What do you need? It's concert day. I'm here for you. And she's not only a great colleague, but a good friend. So I really appreciate all three of those folks that I get to work with here at OHS. Katie, Pat, and Matthew from OMS and FES, and then Bryson and Kendra, our RCI band teachers. So thanks to our band team, because this doesn't happen without the amazing start that all of our band team gives to our students. Also want to thank our PAC director, Nate Mendel, and his team in the booth. Can we give it up for all of them and their hard work tonight too, please? And you probably saw 3 not so high school age looking folks on stage, actually 4 not so high school age looking folks on stage. Arun Marion, Kitsali Nunez, and Jackie Clark are 3 oboists from UW-Madison. We don't have any oboists in wind ensemble this year, so they came in and helped us out with the dance zone so that we could really play that piece to its fullest, because there were some oboe solos in there, so we want to thank them. Can we give it up for those folks too? And Mr. Kading, do you want to come out here? Mr. Kading had well, he's got a concert tonight, obviously, and his wife, Abby, who's also a music educator, has a concert tonight. And Grandma was not able to watch the kids, so say hi to the nice people, Leo. So thank you, Mr. Kading, my partner in crime. And obviously, thanks to all of you for being here tonight. This is our, our first concert of the year, our first sleigh ride of the year. This is only the second time that this entire band has met together to practice sleigh rides, so cross your fingers for us. No, it's gonna be great. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy holidays.
Sleigh Ride is a light band and orchestral standard whose music was composed by Leroy Anderson. The composer had formed the original idea for the piece during a massive heat wave on the eastern seaboard in July 1946, and he finished the work in February 1948.
The original recordings were instrumental versions, and the lyrics, without riding in a sleigh and other fun wintertime activities, were written by Michael Parrish in 1950. A selection of the artists who have recorded it include Herb Albert, the Andrews Sisters, the Carpenters, Bing Crosby, the Boston Pops Orchestra, Ella Fitzgerald, Double Gibson, the Muppets, and Andy Williams.
Enjoy Sleigh Ride.